There is a fascinating movie about to hit theaters that you're going to want to see. It shares the legal and philosophical reasons why it's okay for children to get religious education classes during the school day. How does that work? We're going to talk about it. Hi, I'm Stuart Shepard, and this is First Liberty Live. Thank you for sharing our videos. If they're helpful to you, also click subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's a good way to keep up with these as they come out each week or so. I've got Joel Penton on the line. He is CEO and also the founder of LifeWise Academy. If you haven't heard about LifeWise yet, you will soon. Hi, Joel. Good to see you.
Stuart, good to see you.
Glad you're here. Before I even ask you a single question, I want to share with people the trailer for this film because it is fantastic.
School, kids, Bible, somehow during school hours, you can't do that. That's illegal.
Decades ago, the Bible was systematically removed from the public school day.
There is still constantly Bible reading and prayer recitation in the public schools.
The Supreme Court has made a judgment.
Why do they put the battleground in the public schools?
The most transformative book in all of human history, banned from the one place we educate 90% of our population.
The Bible's impact is hard to overestimate. It's the foundation of modern science.
Faith and common sense is really nonsense, and it is destroying all the beautiful things the Bible had brought to the Christian civilization.
Yeah, it's a problem. But what if the separation of church and state has been widely misunderstood? And what if the solution to reintegrate the Bible into the public school day has been right under our nose for the last 70 years?
It's not atheism that's going to bring peace to the world.
The Bible as the key resource in every child's education is indispensable.
There's a way to bring it back. Many call it a movement. Others call it a loophole. A loophole so big, you could drive a bus through it.
And that'll be in theaters on Thursday night. Joel, I've seen the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm not a movie reviewer, so that's just an honest reaction to the film. I really enjoyed watching through it. Much more, you go into a movie with a certain level of expectation. This exceeded them, because it made me think about things. I learned a couple of things I didn't know, so I can highly recommend it. What are you hoping to gain by putting this in theaters tomorrow night?
Well, Stuart, I appreciate the encouragement. We also incredibly pleased by how it turned out. I mean, we had an Emmy-winning filmmaker that produced the whole thing, and our goal is simply to spread the word of this amazing opportunity to reinstall Bible education for public school students nationwide. We believe the greatest obstacle we face is that not enough people know that this is possible. And so the documentary, it really tells the story, what is kind of a tragic story of how the Bible was removed from public education, the disastrous effects of that. However, this hopeful future that we really can reintegrate Bible education through release time, and namely through LifeWise Academy.
One line that stuck with me from the movie is this one: there is no neutral view in education. Explain what that's all about.
Well, in education, we try to create a neutral space where we're neutral on the topics of spirituality and Christianity. And that neutral ground is really hard to create, because if you're teaching explicitly biblical messages, that is choosing one area. That's, we say, moving forward with Bible education. However, if a school chooses to be completely silent on the matter and ignore the things of God, ignore eternal questions altogether, that's not a neutral position. That's sending a message to students that the Bible's not important, that spiritual things aren't important. And so what we argue is that the only way to be somewhat neutral is to have an option for families to choose to have Bible education, and you can do that through release time.
Now, you have a number of notable experts that are featured throughout the film. The first one to show up on screen just happens to be my boss, Kelly Shackelford, who's president of First Liberty Institute. Why was it important to you to have him in this documentary?
Well, when we tell people what we do with LifeWise, that we provide Bible education for public school students during school hours, usually the first words we hear are, that's not legal. You're going to get arrested. You can't do that. Separation of church and state. And there's nobody better to speak to that really misconception about the separation of church and state than Kelly Shackelford. All the many, many victories First Liberty has had, including the victories we're starting to see in our partnership with First Liberty. And so it was important to us to have Kelly's voice.
For those who have not heard about LifeWise or learned anything about it, explain from a practical point of view. Kid goes to school, what happens for them to be able to take part in LifeWise Academy?
Well, three things that are important to stay legal with release time with what we do is the program needs to be off school property, privately funded, and students have parental permission. And so a parent will sign up their student to be a part of LifeWise Academy. And then typically one time per week, they receive a 45-minute to hour-long Bible class. But again, it's off school property. And so you can think about it kind of like elementary school students that have gym class, once or twice a week, that one classroom at a time walks down the hall to the gym where they get gym class, and then they go back to class, and a different classroom from the school walks down the hall and gets gym class. The only difference is for LifeWise, it's just the students who have been signed up. They walk down, but instead of going to the gym, they walk out the front door and get on our big red bus and ride it to the church just down the road, and they get a Bible class, and then ride it back, and then we pick up another group of students, and we do that all week long.
It's a fantastic program. On the legal side of things, I've also got on the line Holly Randall, one of our attorneys here at First Liberty Institute. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Stuart.
Good to see you. From a legal perspective, explain why what Joel and LifeWise Academy are doing is okay. Why is it an okay thing under the law?
What Joel and the LifeWise team have done is really tapped into powerful Supreme Court precedent. It was, the early 50s when the Supreme Court looked at a very similar arrangement to LifeWise Academy. It was off-school property, it was privately funded, and it had parental consent. And they said, this is completely consistent with our Constitution. We think, the best of our traditions are followed when the state and, religious organizations work together like this in ways that, like you mentioned, we can help kids explain and learn kind of the facts of life as explained through a biblical worldview. And so what they're doing is they took that model and they're really making it available across the country to individuals. And they're doing it in such a way that the Supreme Court has basically already blessed.
And to be clear, if there are school districts that try to keep this from happening, First Liberty is ready to speak up.
That's right. We're happy to partner with LifeWise Academy, just like Joel mentioned. And there's a great part of the movie. I'm not going to offer any spoilers. I saw it. It was excellent. There's a great part of the movie where, they talk through all the challenges that school districts can face and how LifeWise is able to assist with helping families that want release time education to have this as a part of their community. And First Liberty Institute is right there alongside LifeWise while they're helping families. So it's really a great partnership to make sure that, children are able to get a Bible education during school hours.
Before I let you go, I want to give you a chance to give Joel some encouragement for the work they're doing. Say whatever you want to.
I think it's incredible what they're doing. I attended public school myself. I would have absolutely loved to have had something like LifeWise Academy, just to, learn and get biblical encouragement during the day. And I hope the people that go see this film are just as touched as I am by the stories that they share. They have truly some incredible members of their LifeWise community just on staff, and even, the families and the kids that attend. And so I think it's just a huge encouragement to anyone that goes to see it.
Joel, this all started with one school in Van Wert, Ohio, a town most people have probably never heard of. And you set a great big goal of 25 schools by 2025. How's that working out for you?
Well, it's working out pretty well. Yes, we said in 2019 when we launched our first schools, we said, let's reach 25 schools by 2025. We thought that sounded ambitious. We thought it sounded pretty big. But we have now more than 40x'd that goal. We are confirmed in over 1,000 schools for this school year. In fact, we're confirmed for over 1,200 schools, some of which will launch next school year. And so we are just seeing a hunger for this in families all across the nation. And so, we would invite anybody who's listening to roll up your sleeves and get involved.
Well, we are cheering for you. We're very proud of your success. Tell me, why is your heart in this? How did you get involved in this particular activity?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Well, my life was forever changed when I was a freshman in high school, and at a Bible study, I heard the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he became central to my life, and it became very important to me overnight to share that same message that so changed my heart with others. And so I spent about a decade doing that by traveling and speaking full time, doing outreach events and things after college. But then when I saw this opportunity, I saw something that could impact not just a few audiences here and there where I could go speak, but I saw something that could really impact our entire nation and spread the word of God to the next generation all across the U.S. And so for me, it's irresistible. I have to be involved.
A lot of us have heard of Fathom events. I think they're now called Fathom Entertainment, and are familiar with this one night at the theater kind of thing, or maybe a couple of nights. Tell us how people can find this film and how they can go see it.
Yep, best way would be to go to our website, lifewise.org. That's LIFEWISE.org. And on the homepage, you'll see it's front and center is where you can look up and see what theaters near you are carrying the film. And it is just one night, October 23rd, so be sure to get your tickets, and I promise you'll enjoy it.
Anything else you want to share before I let you go?
Well, I'm just really grateful for this opportunity, and we're so grateful for First Liberty. It really is a wonderful partnership. We love that we can focus on doing what we do, which is providing a world-class program to teach the Bible to students all across the nation. And when it comes to the legal stuff, that we're not experts in those things, for First Liberty to come alongside and to really link arms with us. So we're grateful, and grateful for your audience as well.
Well, Joel, we are happy for the relationship we have with your organization. And like I said, we're always cheering for you. Thanks for making time for us today. I know you've got a crazy schedule. I'm going to let you go.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care now. The film is called Off School Property, and you can find that, as he mentioned, at the LifeWise website. They've got a big link there. You can't miss it. First Liberty, we're the religious freedom people. It's faith, freedom, forever.